I'm going to try this again. I still have a little bit of light on. That's making things weird, but that's all right. This is Module 4, and I'm just going to hit the highlights on Module 4 because I just dropped my phone. Tried to get a lot of things in there, and then just at the end it shut down on me, and so I'm doing this again. Module 4 is the first actual module where we're dealing with uh, the text and that type of thing. This is culture, and we all have culture. We get it in some ways, and you're going to find out how all of this works. And then there are several activities that you're going to be working on. We live in a world that's full of culture. All you have to do is walk in a grocery store or walk down the street or walk across campus, and you see how much culture plays in our lives. The objectives for this particular module are identifying characters, practices, beliefs, history of diverse cultural groups, describing how culture can exert influence upon the educational system. And this is something I want you to begin looking for as you go out to do your observations. Noticing the diversity in culture that is around us and our reaction to those diverse populations. Examining our values and beliefs about other cultures to assess our levels of bias. And like it or not, we probably do have biases there. I'm just going to get into this. You've probably been lulled a little bit by the ease of the first three modules, and this one, as I've said many times, is more intense, and there are more things to do. One of the first things you're going to do is to pick a culture, and you'll find that link in that lesson area. And you go in there and you pick the culture by the country name, not so necessarily the continent or whatever. I want you to look for the country that you specifically want to look at the culture of. And then you email me that. You must email it right away because that's the only way you're going to make sure that you get what you want. And I'm not asking you for just one, I want your top three because as we go on, people will, choose the same thing you chose and they won't, I'll have to have a second choice. I will record these, and as soon as I get them, record them, and so please check the list before you make your choice, and then we'll do it that way. You're going to do the same thing with a movie. One of the assignments is to watch a cultural movie, something like Remember the Titans, which deals with segregation. And from that, there's an exercise where you're going to see what you can find out about the cultural differences that are in that particular movie. I'm going to add black and white that's out there or will be coming into the theaters soon. I think it's black or white. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, and Selma is out there in the theaters now. So I'm going to add those two to the list. They might not show up in all the places, but they'll be on the major list. I put in the pacing dates on all of these. I know some people didn't like the fact that I had dates in there because, I don't know, they thought they had to rush through and get things done. The pacing dates are only for those people that are pacing themselves through the course. If they do them when they're paced, they will be sure to be finished when they get to the end, as opposed to waiting till Tuesday to finish it for Wednesday. Because it's going to be difficult on this particular one. You might be able to, on some of the other ones, do them in 1 or 2 days. But I think this one's going to take a little while. So I want you to check those pacing dates, follow them if you want, and or otherwise aim for January 28th. And I just made the mistake of putting a date in here. Anyway, do what you want to do and need to do on that. We're adding also the textbook assignment, the first textbook assignment with your case studies. And I know it's not the first chapter or the second chapter. It may be the third chapter. Anyway, it has to do with the cultural cases that we have. Numbers 5, 6, and 7, 7 and 8. And so you pick one, and I guess there are 9 of them. I just happened to look and see the extra one there. A couple of you are using old books. I'm hoping that one of them will match one of these cases. Culture project is the last thing you're going to hand in, so I'm giving you quite a bit of time to work on that. And everything needs to be in by January 28th. at midnight, and I just covered that. But you can print this all out now. That assignment is there, and all you do is click on it, and you'll see the little word print on your right, and you print it out, and you have it all there so that you can see the dates and the assignments and all the stuff that's there that you need to get done. Now, the lesson itself is in that online part, and that's where you're going to get a lot of other information. There are other videos in there and other things to read. Excuse my voice, it's going away. Anyway, just checking to make sure that you're thinking about getting out in the schools and also about getting those observations scheduled. I'm not sure when the testing date is. I think it's sometime in March, which means they may not be too anxious to have you in the schools in February because they may be preparing for the test or teaching to the test. And just be aware that all of that is out there, and hopefully you'll be able to get in and get them done. So I think with that said, I'm going to call this a thing and pray that it goes all through.